I was doing some maintenance on some arcade games. That's the reason why everything's turned off right now. But I was like, well, I was looking at some of the footage I recorded today, and I kind of didn't like it. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to start over, even though I had stuff recorded today and it just didn't really work out for me. So the topic I want to talk about is the toxic environments in online gaming, because I love multiplayer games, as in multiplayer. 3 people here versus Captain. You have 2 people here. Frogger, you switch places, but still, yeah. Tubin, Neo Geo, Revolution X, all of them. You play. You can have more than one person playing together. I like that. Now, if you're like playing this, and there's 3 people, you can trash talk each other. If you're playing a fighting game, you can trash talk each other. But you realize there's another person there. So there's certain things most people won't say. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people that would say anything. They don't care. But the majority of the people you're going to meet, they're not going to say things to you. They're not going to say they did things to your mom or blah or blah, things like that. And I think it's kind of weird that sometimes we forget that there's actually somebody at the other end of the on the other side of another screen that's playing this game with us. It's like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't get me wrong. When I'm playing a game solo and I can't get past something, I say mean things to the game. And what it is, it's you're frustrated. Okay, that's great. But you're not taking it out on any individual person. You're taking it out on the game. Online, though, if you're playing Call of Duty, League of Legends, Smite, whatever, insert game here, insert game title here. I was looking to make sure my mic was pointed correctly. People seem to not care. It's like, oh, blah, 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 and they just go off on you and say the most vile things. I mean, I have been threatened to be, I have had my life threatened countless times. I know the reason why I'm saying that comes to mind very quick, because it actually happened earlier tonight. I was playing a game of Smite on the Xbox One, and somebody, it's because I was playing, in that game they have different match types. I was playing one called Assault. If you have played Smite before, you'll know what that is. Basically, it's like one giant lane, and it's a 5-on-5 versus match. And I tried to trade with everybody in the game for the god I had. I had never played, this may be the second time I ever played her. It's the new god in it, it's an assassin, and I don't play assassins. And I had died quite a few times. But the person said, if you die again, I'm coming to your house and killing you. And I know he doesn't mean it, but he's frustrated, and it's just something. But I'm like, that's kind of mean. I mean, but he wasn't doing it as vile. I mean, it's a mean thing to say, but it's not as vile as people I've ever had. I've had people call me every racial slur. I've had people call it saying they did things to different people in my family. If you've watched the documentary from HBO, quoting things from that. So yeah, it's very toxic in some of these environments. League of Legends especially. I actually have quite a bit of stuff in League of Legends. I was never a great player. I was almost an okay player in League of Legends. So, but I got to the highest level at the time, which I think was 30. I'm not sure if it's higher now or not. But I really enjoyed it. But then as you start getting higher up, and the people were just so vile. I mean, that's really about the only way to say it. It ruined the game for me, because Yeah, you can play just your team members against the computer, but that's kind of boring. And I don't know, just kind of weird. Many times I played to where you had different people. Okay, trying to say things without actually saying the horrible things that people have said to me. So, I'm trying to think. Okay, perfect example. I've actually talked to somebody who did this. I was actually playing Smite on the Xbox One, and somebody I was playing with, he was talking about how he actually came from League of Legends. I was like, yeah, I quit League because of the toxic dye. He's like, yeah, it's pretty toxic. But he talked about it, but he was like, he liked it. He liked talking to people that way. And I was like, why? He's like, well, I liked showing my superiority over them. And I'm thinking, and to me, I even told the guy this. I said, if you think that you're better than somebody just because you're better than them at a game, I feel sorry for you. And he understood. And I think he was kind of taken back. He's like, wait, what? Because I don't think anybody ever questioned him on it. But yeah, I was like, no. That's honestly, I feel sorry for you if that's what you think. If making somebody else feel that bad is bringing you pleasure, I feel sorry for you. That's means you. And this is me talking to him specifically because I think this may be the first or second time I talked to him. Some of the other people I play with on there knew him, and I said, to me that means somebody has a very sad life, and I wasn't trying to trash talk him, but basically I was like, if you're trying to tear everybody down to a certain level, it's probably, are you trying to tear them down to your level? That's my psychology 101, knowing next to nothing about it, analysis. And he was like, no, I just like doing it. I was like, okay. I said, but if you did that to everybody, and people, and he's like, I said, do you like it when people quit the game because of it? He's like, yeah. I said, but well, if you did that to everybody and everybody quit the game, this game that you're really good at and proud of being able to trash talk other people, nobody's playing. He goes, oh, but that ain't going to happen. And I'm like, well, eventually, yeah. League of Legends will die. World of Warcraft will die one day. One day, Smite will die. I mean, these games, well, they'll quit being popular. And there may be a group that plays them, but it's not going to be anything like what it is now. And it's because another game would come up and take its place. And it's always going to be, it's like, yeah, World of Warcraft's been on top of the MMO world for a long time, but it's slowly falling. And eventually it's going to close down. Same thing with all these other games. I mean, if you look at some of the old Call of Duty games that people are really, really good at, and they're not as good in the new one, because if you play the old one and you try to jump to the new one, there's a learning curve. And when you start looking at the player base in the older games, it's dwindling more and more. And those games are pretty bad too, because you have people just talking trash. Worst part is when you have some, like, it sounds like they're like 5 years old, but they're probably just somebody like a preteen talking about saying all this crap and just trash talking. And that, honestly, it's annoying, but it's honestly kind of funny, because I'm saying, like, this kid's probably like 5 foot nothing and 100 pounds soaking wet. And because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of me at that age, like 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, when you're like, you think you're the biggest, baddest guy, and in actuality, no, you're a little turd. Because that's what I was. And just hearing that voice, and you can tell they're trying to make their voice sound deeper, but just can't. And the worst thing is when one of them's talking and their voice is cracking because it's actually changing. So it's like, and it's like, and you're sitting there saying that you're doing this and I'm doing this, and no, it just, but still, yeah, that mentality. Now, if they're playing with a group of friends that they all know each other, okay. If you're trash talking, you're saying that to each other, I think it's a little much, but hey, every social group has their own norms and what they consider acceptable. But when you start breaking out of that group into the general population and you start doing that, I think that kind of hurts the gaming group or the gaming experience overall. I mean, yes, some trash talking is okay. As if that person was sitting beside you, as long as you're not saying anything you wouldn't say when that guy's right beside you, then there's no problem. But when you start going like you're blah and blah and start calling them racial slurs and everything, I think that's a little much. And there have been times to when I was playing. Well, one of my friends I play with, he has a Asian sounding username, and somebody he beat this. We beat this one team, and he basically dominated the match. And somebody from the other team sent him a message on Xbox Live, calling him all types of Asian slurs, and I was like, "Wow!" He reported him, and Xbox took care of it. They basically said we've banned this person, and we don't want that type of. You should not have to. Can't remember what exactly it said, but basically they took care. They actually said that they had banned him, and if you on Xbox, if you do digital downloads, you get banned. I'm not sure how that does with your gamer tags and everything and playing online, but it actually said they banned him from playing online. I'm not sure if that meant just that one game or if it meant overall. But I was like, wow, that's kind of harsh. But if you're doing that and being that virile, no, that's not a thing. Venomous toward people, I'm not sure what the proper term is there. Virile, no, that's something completely different. Sorry about that. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any type of ideas about trash talking? Do you think anything's acceptable? Do you think that you should think about the other person on the side of the screen that you're playing against? I mean, I don't know. So yeah, if you guys have any opinions on it, let me know. Do you think I'm in the wrong? Do you think I'm in the right? Do you differ in your opinion? What's your opinion? But hope you enjoyed my video. I've had a busy day. I'm trying to get some things in my skee ball machine to work, and basically there's two black lights and these lights down the rail that aren't working, and I don't know why. But anyways, hope you had a good day. Mine has been pretty busy. Talk to you tomorrow.